to Sitha. I hope you're doing good and welcome to my channel. I am your personal motivator, supporter, and advisor who's also on the journey of transformation. Today's video is going to be, I'm not really sure what the title will be, but it's currently Reasons to Love Yourself, Loving Me. I guess episode 1. I'll see if I'll do like an episode thing with it. We'll see. So in my self-discovery journey, self-love journey, I've literally, that's one thing that I'm having to like deal with, like knowing that loving myself is not a bad thing. Loving myself is a add-on to me and others around me. And I just thought I'll tell you, I'll basically say the questions that I had with myself that allowed me to get to the stage that I'm at and allow myself to actually start loving me. Learning to love myself at 28. So learning to love myself at 28, why has it taken so long? And the reason really is I don't know. The reason is actually I know it's because I never thought it was a priority. I never thought it was a thing that I needed to do. It was, and I was like, it doesn't impact my life, so I mean, I'm just here about myself. Like there's aspects I like, there's aspects I'm like, yeah, but I don't think I truly love myself in the sense of like valuing myself, my time, me as a person. So I think in this journey of just like looking into myself, delving into who I am, looking into the things that I want to change, I've had to just have a thought process and just think and be like, wait a minute, like, do you truly like even like yourself or love yourself? Because some of these patterns and things that you're doing are not like equating to, you know, actually you loving yourself. So I just didn't think it was important basically, and then I didn't think there was a correlation between me loving myself and any decisions that I made and the things that I did and how I thought and how I perceived things basically. And then so I'd go on and move on and say, oh, I guess I'll go a bit deeper. Internally, I didn't think that, you know, me, I was just there, yeah, it's fine, it's great, but I never had like that value and that thing of like my presence is important in this world and I can make a change, that I'm valued, I am needed, and there's a reason that God made me and I was created for a reason and a purpose. I don't think I ever had that in my mind, and that does, I think, equate to loving yourself, because loving yourself enough is knowing that you're here for a reason and a purpose, and you are here for a change and to create change, and that your presence is needed and wanted. I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to get at. I'm just basically trying to say that I never really had that love for myself. I never thought myself was important, so I would give and give for everyone else, but I would put myself last. And I think it took me a long time to understand that I also can be first and I can still be valued. And yeah, so I had to get to a place of understanding that. Hence, once again, I keep saying this, I keep saying that, but I've been reading the Painted Flawless Manual, The Art of Intimacy. That has basically delved me even deeper into what I was already trying to work on about my self-image, who I am, my importance. And it's such a lovely read because she just reiterates how much your uniqueness, how you as a person, your differences are a light, like it creates a light in this world that would be missed if you wasn't here. Like, you are important, you are needed here, you have something to offer, that your presence, your friendship, your conversations you have with people, and just you being around has a significance in this world. And I just love how that just kind of hit me in my spirit, like, yes, you know, I was already obviously in the process of this, but having to read that book and how she wrote it just confirmed it even more. Obviously, I'm on this transformation journey. I want to be transparent with you guys as much as I can, because I'm not perfect. That's why I say I'm your motivator and your supporter and advisor, but I'm also on this transformation journey as well. So I also want to just say, and another question I asked myself was, why should I love myself? Most people have heard this, but if you have a certain view of yourself, you will allow people to treat you a certain way. You will allow things to come into your life, and you will allow things to be done to you because of the reason of just not loving yourself. Even the Bible tells us, love yourself as your neighbor. you would have thought God would be like, oh, love your neighbor first before yourself. But he knew what he was talking about, because if you don't have that love in you first, how are you able to love your neighbor? So it equals together. Without you loving yourself, you're not able to love someone else, or you're not able to love someone else effectively, or in the correct way, maybe at times. So I definitely think that you not loving yourself you will allow people to treat you a certain way, and you will treat yourself a certain way. You might not take care of yourself. You might not physically or emotionally, spiritually, you will not take care of yourself. You can let yourself go. You can just be like, well, it is what it is. Like, I don't have to, who cares? Like, because if you have a love for yourself, you have a certain, if you love someone, like your husband, your partner, your family members, your mom or your sisters, you care for them. So if they have nothing to eat, you're like, oh God, I'll get you something to eat. I'll get you some food from the grocery store. Or I'm struggling. I'll come help you with this move. You want to help them if they're in a situation of like need. And in essence, if you have no love for yourself, if you're in a place of need, you're never going to actually give yourself anything, because you're going to be like, well, I deserve to not have anything. I don't want to help you. You almost see yourself as not being worthy of that help or anything like that. So that's one thing I've learned. Like, if you don't love the reason why you should love yourself is because you will treat yourself the same way as you feel, and you also allow other people and determine how other people treat you. Next question I asked myself was, what happens when I love myself? How do we love ourselves? What happens when I love myself? What do I do when I love myself? When I love myself, like I was saying, you treat yourself with respect. You have boundaries. You have conversations with yourself. You look into yourself. You delve deep into yourself. And it's like I've said before, it's not conceited thinking like, oh, I'm trying to find myself and know myself. It's good to know. Even in the book I was reading, I've just talked about Painter Flawless. She was like, look into yourself. What are your good qualities? What are the things that you might not be so good at? Like, look into all those things, because they're good. Because then, if a situation arises, you can be logical about it and look at it and be like, you know what? I know myself in so well that in this situation, this is not good for me to be around this situation. So let me remove myself. Or I'm an emotional person, so I can see myself getting very emotional about the situation that's happening, and I know that I can sometimes lead with emotion. So let me just step back, let me rethink everything through, let me just center in and think about it, and then I'll make the decision. Because allowing yourself to know yourself means that you can then make the correct decisions later on and be like, oh, I know myself. I can be a little, hot-headed at times, so let me not even allow myself to get into a situation that will allow me to lose my cool. Or if I am, I'm like, okay, I'm aware now, let me stop myself now. And that gives you that sense of self-control and that self-discipline as well. Whereas if you don't have that awareness, you'll react to things and be like, oh, why did I react like that? Like, I don't understand why I do that. Whereas if you have the root cause and you have the knowledge of yourself and be like, no, you know what, I can get a bit hot-headed at times when I'm in situations like this. And I've started doing this where I'm in a situation, if let's say I told my husband, he might say something, and then I don't take it as a joke. I take it serious. I'm like, why am I taking it seriously? Why am I not taking this joke? There's a place in me where someone must have said it either in the past, or there's a place in me where that comment creates pain. And because I've started doing that, I started thinking, oh, why did I feel that? Like, why was that emotion a negative emotion when he said that? And he was just joking. So things like that help us to kind of delve deeper into the things that happened, obviously, when we're younger, as well as things that we might just not have dealt with and we need to deal with, because you're like, I don't want to have this on me, so I need to like actually dig deep and be like, what is happening? Was it something that I never dealt with, when I was younger, that I need to now deal with in either therapy, in prayer, in reading, things like that. So definitely remember that, like, you treat yourself with respect, you treat yourself with kindness, grace. if someone loves someone, let's say someone, your friend does something wrong, you have grace to forgive them because you're like, you know what, I'm not perfect. Whereas sometimes when you don't have that love for yourself, you can be a bit, I don't want to say harsh, but you can have that almost like, well, you shouldn't have done it in the first place because you don't tolerate it. You don't tolerate it of yourself because you don't have that love for yourself and that grace. So you end up having a higher expectation, almost like a perfectionist thing towards people. And I'm definitely one of those people, I can be a perfectionist at times, and obviously it's not a good thing. So this is one thing I'm also working on my transformation journey. And just to quickly, loop in, and what's the word, I can't remember the word now, but put in, my podcast is out. So if you'd like to listen to any of like the videos that you're watching on YouTube, go onto my podcast, Transform with Sitha, and you can listen to them there. And there's also like additional ones that you might not see on here, so you can get all this great motivation, support, and advice from me as well. Do see the link in the description below. Let me know any tips you might have as well for me to talk about, or any like topics, that I can talk about, and then I can talk about them on the podcast. But yeah, it's the same setup, kind of motivation, self-development, looking at your self-image and transforming yourself. So yes, check it out, and I might leave like a little snippet here as well of a topic that I might be talking about. I used to think that change happened without having to do anything. I would hope and wish that the change would happen and I didn't need to do anything. But no, I had to learn the hard way. Change happens when we intentionally want the change to happen, when we change our perspective, change our mindset, and we actually apply actions in place. So if you want to transform your life, join my podcast, Transform with Sitha, so we can make practical steps to change our lives and become the women and the men that we know we can be. Yeah, moving on. So the last thing is, having love for yourself will create like a positive catalyst to actually be like, you know what, I deserve better, I deserve more, like there's greater for me because I'm loved, I love me, and I deserve whatever I need or want. Basically, you don't have I won't say a hatred, but also I think if you're not having love for yourself can lead to like almost hating yourself, that you don't have the worth, and then you end up leading yourself to be like, well, I don't deserve anything because I don't think I'm valuable. So it is important to love yourself first, because loving yourself will allow you to create changes, steps in which that actually benefit your life and add to your life rather than remove and take away. You'll get into the right relationships, right friendships, make the right decisions for your life. You want to do more, you want to do greater. And I feel like since having that kind of revelation and like my eyes being opened, like I want to do more. Like obviously, I don't think I would have been able to do this YouTube channel, like to start doing this. I would have been like, oh God, I can't do it. Like, who am I to do it? No one will watch me. Like, you have all those negative thoughts, and now I'm like, it's fine if no one watches me. Like, as long as one person watches me and I help that one person, I've done my purpose. I've advised, I've helped, I've supported, I've even motivated. Like, that's one thing. When I was when I was writing down the things that are positive about myself, I said I have great energy, and I think that's why you wouldn't think that I probably don't love myself, but people may ask. But I have great energy. I love to motivate. I love to see people laughing. If I see you in a room and I've never met you, I'm always like, hi. Like, I'll see you like I've never seen you, or I haven't seen you in years. Like, that is one thing I always do. And I think people are like, what the heck? But I just love like seeing new people, and I want you to feel like as soon as you meet me, I have embraced you. And I think it's weird how I never had that love for myself, but I always wanted. And that's the thing, you project the thing that you don't have to other people, or the thing that you want to other people. So I felt like I didn't have that for myself, but I wanted other people to feel welcomed and loved as soon as they met me, because I didn't have that feeling. Because you see the correlation of how you feel about yourself will spill into other people, how you treat other people. The good thing about me, at least, I wanted people to feel welcome. I wanted, but I still do. I want people to feel welcome. I want them to be like, oh my God, I met Sita for the first time. I felt so welcome. Like, she had a great smile, big smile on her face, and she was like, like as if we'd known each other for years, and that's what I wanted. And I think I projected that because I'd wanted others to feel like that, because I didn't want people to feel the opposite that I was feeling. So that was opposite for me, was, you know, because some people can be the opposite, where it's like, yeah, well, I'm not feeling crap, so you don't want to feel crap like me. So you can be the opposite. So, by the grace of God, I always wanted people to feel welcome, and I still do. So that's what I always wanted to do, but now I'm actually living it for myself. So, you know, I'm here. I'm also welcome. I love me. Basically that. So I was writing all those things about myself, and it's like, yeah, I've got good energy. I love being happy, smiling. I don't like negative things. That's why probably I don't deal with them great. But I love being happy and making other people happy and motivating. Like, if anyone ever tells me like a story, like I'm going through it, I'm like, I'll be okay. I always say it's gonna be okay. Like, look at the bright side. At least it's not like this. Like, I'm always kind of like, even with my friends, I'm like, you know what, it's gonna be okay. Like, there's always better, it's always going to get better. Like, that's my outlook on life. Even with myself, to be fair, that was one thing I've always stuck on to. Like, I've that sense of resilience, and I used to think like I'm not resilient, but in a way I am resilient. So I was just writing all these things. I was like, oh my God, look at all these great aspects that you have inside you that God has put, and you can use those to better your community. And I was like, there, instead of looking at all the bad things and be like, oh well, I'm not good at speaking in public. That's fine, we can learn, we can improve on that bit, we can change it. So the thing that you're deficient in, don't think of it as a limitation, but just think of it as a project that you're going to improve on, get better at, and become an expert in the end. So don't limit yourself at all. So I hope this has been motivating for you and has pushed someone in the right direction to loving themselves, because you're truly worthy of loving yourself and being loved. So I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Once again, don't forget to link in anything that you want me to talk about, any of the topics, and I'll try my best to talk about them. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.